Oregon's haunted highways beneath the dense canopies of towering Douglas firs and along the winding paths carved through rugged mountains. Oregon's roads weave a tapestry of natural beauty and eerie mystery. These thoroughfares, often framed by mist-shrouded valleys and shadowed by jagged cliffs, are more than just routes connecting towns. They are corridors steeped in history, tragedy, and the supernatural. While some travelers marvel at the state's breathtaking landscapes, others find themselves gripped by an unsettling sense that they are not alone. Whispers of ghostly apparitions, phantom vehicles, and inexplicable phenomena have long been tied to certain stretches of Oregon's highways, transforming them into infamous legends whispered among locals and sought after by thrill-seekers. Oregon's haunted roads serve as a chilling reminder that beneath the serene surface of its picturesque terrain lies a darker narrative, one shaped by untimely deaths, unresolved mysteries, and the lingering echoes of those who once walked these paths. From the desolate stretches of Highway 26, known as the Oregon Vortex, to the haunting curves of Deadman's Pass on Interstate 84, each road tells a story of sorrow and spectral encounters. These tales are not mere fabrications born from overactive imaginations. They are rooted in documented incidents, first-hand accounts, and centuries-old folklore that continue to captivate and terrify those who dare to traverse them. This article invites you to embark on a journey into the unknown, exploring Oregon's most haunted roads and uncovering the chilling stories etched into their asphalt. Through meticulous research and vivid storytelling, we aim to transport you beyond the veil of daylight, immersing you in the shadowy world where the living meet the dead. Whether you're a skeptic seeking thrills or a believer in the paranormal, prepare to confront the restless spirits and unexplained phenomena that haunt these highways. Each mile marker is a gateway to a realm where fear and fascination collide, beckoning you to explore the haunted heart of Oregon's wilderness. As storytellers, our mission is simple yet profound: to breathe life into these haunted roads, crafting an experience akin to driving their haunted lengths yourself. We'll guide you through the labyrinthine depths of fear, where every turn holds the promise of discovery and danger. So steel your nerves and ready your senses, for what lies ahead is not merely a collection of ghost stories, but a visceral exploration of humanity's capacity for both cruelty and resilience. Welcome to the heart of darkness within Oregon's most haunted roads. An odyssey into the unseen awaits. The Phantom Drivers of Highway 26. A journey into the unknown. Highway 26, stretching across Oregon's rugged terrain, is a road that seems to defy the ordinary. Known locally as the Oregon Vortex, this stretch of highway has earned its ominous nickname not just for its treacherous curves and steep inclines but also for the countless reports of paranormal activity that have left even seasoned drivers questioning reality. Winding through dense forests and remote mountain passes, Highway 26 feels like a portal to another realm, a place where time bends, shadows move of their own accord, and the line between the living and the dead blurs. The history of Highway 26 is as complex and layered as the landscape it traverses. Originally constructed in the early 20th century, the road was designed to connect rural communities and facilitate travel across the state. However, its isolated location and challenging conditions quickly made it a site of frequent accidents and disappearances. Over the decades, numerous lives were lost along its unforgiving stretches, victims of reckless driving, harsh weather, and mysterious circumstances that remain unsolved to this day. These tragedies have left an indelible mark on the highway, giving rise to a reputation steeped in dread and superstition. Among the most persistent legends associated with Highway 26 are the sightings of phantom drivers. Travelers recount encountering ghostly vehicles that appear out of nowhere, their headlights glowing faintly in the fog before vanishing without a trace. Some describe being tailgated by invisible cars, feeling the pressure of an unseen presence closing in behind them until they pull over in terror. Others claim to see apparitions of old-fashioned automobiles from the early 1900s, their forms flickering like mirages before dissolving into thin air. These spectral motorists are said to be the spirits of those who perished on the road, doomed to relive their final moments in an endless loop. But the haunting of Highway 26 extends far beyond phantom vehicles. Witnesses frequently report seeing shadowy figures standing along the roadside, their silhouettes barely visible in the dim light of passing headlights. These apparitions are often described as hunched and weary, their faces obscured by tattered cloaks or wide-brimmed hats. Locals believe they are the spirits of hitchhikers who met tragic ends while attempting to cross the treacherous highway, a grim reminder of a time when hitchhiking was common practice. Those brave enough to stop and offer assistance claim the figures vanish upon approach, leaving behind only an unsettling chill in the air. Equally unnerving are the auditory phenomena reported by drivers. Many describe hearing disembodied voices emanating from the void, calling out names or issuing cryptic warnings. Some claim to hear the distant sound of car engines revving or tires screeching, audible even when no other vehicles are nearby. In one particularly harrowing account, a family traveling late at night reported hearing a blood-curdling scream followed by the unmistakable crunch of metal against metal. When they stopped to investigate, they found no signs of an accident, only an overwhelming sense of unease that lingered long after they resumed their journey. The haunting echoes of Interstate 84 nestled within the rolling hills and craggy cliffs east of Portland lies Dead Man's Pass, a notorious stretch of Interstate 84 that has earned its macabre moniker through a chilling combination of historical tragedy and modern-day paranormal encounters. This section of the interstate winds perilously through the Columbia River Gorge, its steep inclines and sharp curves posing challenges even to experienced drivers. But it is not just the road's physical dangers that make it infamous. It is the pervasive sense of unease that blankets the area, a palpable energy that seems to emanate from the very earth itself. For decades, travelers have reported inexplicable phenomena along Dead Man's Pass, suggesting that the spirits of those who perished here refuse to rest. The origins of Dead Man's Pass haunting reputation can be traced back to the mid-19th century, when pioneers first began traversing the rugged terrain en route to the Pacific Northwest. Long before the construction of the interstate, Native American tribes regarded the gorge as a sacred yet treacherous place, a land imbued with spiritual significance but fraught with danger. Legends speak of warriors and settlers alike meeting their end on the rocky trails, their bodies left behind as offerings to vengeful spirits. When Interstate 84 was eventually built over these ancient paths, many believe the land's sacred essence was disturbed, awakening restless entities that now roam the highway. One of the most persistent legends surrounding Dead Man's Pass involves the ghost of a young woman clad in white, said to wander the roadside in search of her lost love. According to local folklore, she was a pioneer bride whose husband disappeared during their journey westward. Heartbroken and desperate, she ventured into the gorge alone, only to fall victim to its unforgiving terrain. To this day, drivers report seeing her ethereal figure standing near the edge of the road, her mournful gaze fixed on the horizon. Some claim she appears suddenly in their headlights, her translucent form illuminated briefly before vanishing into the night. Others describe feeling an inexplicable urge to pull over, only to find no trace of her upon investigation. Adding to the eerie ambience of Dead Man's Pass are the frequent reports of phantom vehicles and strange mechanical malfunctions. Numerous accounts describe being overtaken by speeding cars that seem to materialize out of nowhere, their headlights blazing eerily in the rearview mirror. Yet, when drivers attempt to match their pace, the vehicles vanish as though swallowed by the darkness. Equally unsettling are the stories of cars stalling inexplicably on the pass, despite having been in perfect working condition moments earlier. Mechanics called to examine such cases often find no logical explanation for the breakdowns, leading many to speculate that malevolent forces are at play. The haunting extends beyond visual and mechanical anomalies. Auditory phenomena abound as well. Travelers frequently report hearing disembodied voices whispering warnings or pleading for help, their origins impossible to pinpoint. One particularly chilling account comes from a truck driver who claims to have heard a child's laughter echoing through his cab late at night. Upon stopping to investigate, he discovered nothing but an empty stretch of road bathed in moonlight. Similarly, many describe the sensation of being watched, as though unseen eyes track their every move. This oppressive feeling intensifies near the gorge's deepest ravines, where the shadows grow longer and the silence becomes deafening. The ghostly guardrails of Wolf Creek Pass, a descent into darkness deep within the verdant embrace of Oregon's coastal mountains, lies Wolf Creek Pass, a deceptively serene stretch of road that belies its sinister reputation. Nestled along State Route 38, this winding thoroughfare cuts through dense forests and plunges into shadowy valleys, offering breathtaking views of cascading waterfalls and mist-laden canyons. Yet, beneath its tranquil facade lurks a haunting legacy of tragedy and despair, where the spirits of those who perished on its treacherous curves refuse to fade into oblivion. Known locally as the Road of No Return, Wolf Creek Pass has become synonymous with spectral encounters and unexplained phenomena that leave travelers shaken and searching for answers. The history of Wolf Creek Pass is steeped in sorrow, marked by countless accidents and disappearances that have scarred its landscape. First constructed in the early 20th century to connect remote logging communities, the road quickly gained notoriety for its perilous conditions. Steep drop-offs, narrow guardrails, and unpredictable weather patterns made it a death trap for unwary drivers. Over the years, numerous lives were claimed by the pass, some in fiery collisions, others in mysterious circumstances that remain unsolved to this day. These tragedies have infused the road with a palpable sense of dread, transforming it into a magnet for paranormal activity. One of the most chilling aspects of Wolf Creek Pass is the recurring presence of ghostly apparitions. Travelers often report seeing shadowy figures standing along the roadside, their forms barely discernible in the dim glow of headlights. These spectral entities are typically described as gaunt and hollow-eyed, their expressions frozen in perpetual anguish. Local lore identifies them as the spirits of victims who died violently on the pass, condemned to wander its length in eternal penance. Some witnesses claim to feel an icy breath on their necks or a sudden tug at their clothing, as if the apparitions are attempting to communicate, or warn, those who dare to traverse their domain. The haunting extends beyond mere visual phenomena. Auditory hallucinations are equally prevalent. Drivers recount hearing disembodied whispers emanating from the void, their words muffled yet urgent. Phrases such as, "turn back," or "help me," drift through the air, audible even when no one else is present. In one particularly harrowing account, a family traveling late at night reported hearing the distinct sound of a woman sobbing, her cries growing louder as they approached a bend in the road. When they stopped to investigate, they found nothing but an abandoned vehicle perched precariously on the edge of a cliff, its windshield shattered and interior soaked with rainwater. Equally unnerving are the mechanical failures reported by motorists on Wolf Creek Pass. Many describe their vehicles stalling inexplicably, despite having undergone routine maintenance prior to their journey. Others claim their radios switch stations on their own, tuning into static-filled frequencies that emit garbled voices and eerie melodies reminiscent of funeral dirges. In one instance, a truck driver reported his dashboard lights flickering erratically before going dark entirely, plunging him into complete blackness as he navigated a hairpin turn. Though he managed to regain control of his vehicle, the experience left him visibly shaken, convinced that unseen forces had intervened. Night falls swiftly over Wolf Creek Pass, casting long shadows across its weathered guardrails and plunging the forest into an impenetrable gloom. It is during these hours that the pass reveals its darkest secrets, drawing paranormal investigators and thrill-seekers alike. Armed with cameras, audio recorders, and electromagnetic field detectors, these explorers brave the desolate road in search of evidence to substantiate its haunting claims. Their findings paint a chilling portrait of a place teeming with supernatural activity. Thermal imaging devices have captured sudden drops in temperature near sites of historical accidents, while EVP recordings reveal fragmented sentences spoken in tones too distorted to identify. One investigator claimed to capture footage of a translucent figure leaning against a guardrail, its form flickering like static before dissolving into the ether. Yet, perhaps the most disturbing aspect of Wolf Creek Pass is the psychological toll it takes on those who traverse it. Many report feeling an overwhelming sense of dread as they descend into its lower reaches, as if an unseen force presses down on them with increasing intensity. This oppressive atmosphere is often accompanied by vivid premonitions of impending doom, prompting some travelers to abandon their journeys altogether. Psychologists attribute these sensations to environmental factors such as isolation and sensory deprivation, yet skeptics struggle to explain the consistency of such experiences among unrelated individuals. The Cursed Curves of Sunset Highway, a sinister legacy stretching across the rugged expanse of Oregon's high desert. Sunset Highway, officially designated as U.S. Route 26, has long been shrouded in mystery and dread. known colloquially as the Devil's Backbone. This desolate stretch of road cuts through barren plains and jagged cliffs, offering travelers a stark contrast to the lush greenery of the state's western regions. Yet, beneath its arid beauty lies a sinister legacy of curses, disappearances, and spectral encounters that have earned it a place among Oregon's most haunted roads. Those who dare to traverse its cursed curves often find themselves ensnared in a web of paranoia and fear, haunted by visions and phenomena that defy rational explanation. The origins of Sunset Highway's haunting reputation can be traced back to the early days of its construction in the 1920s. Built to connect remote mining towns and facilitate trade, the road quickly became infamous for its treacherous conditions and frequent accidents. Workers tasked with carving the highway through the unforgiving terrain spoke of strange occurrences: tools disappearing overnight, unexplained fires breaking out in campsites, and an oppressive sense of being watched. Local Native American tribes warned against disturbing the land, claiming it was sacred ground cursed by vengeful spirits angered by the intrusion. When workers ignored these warnings, disasters struck with alarming frequency, fueling rumors of a malevolent force at work. One of the most enduring legends tied to Sunset Highway involves the disappearance of a young couple in the 1950s. According to eyewitness accounts, the pair set out on a road trip to celebrate their engagement, only to vanish without a trace near a particularly sharp curve known as Devil's Elbow. Search parties combed the area for weeks but found no sign of the couple or their vehicle. Decades later, travelers began reporting sightings of a vintage automobile resembling the missing couple's car parked precariously along the roadside. Those brave enough to approach claimed the vehicle vanishes upon inspection, leaving behind only scorched tire marks and the faint scent of burning rubber. Equally unsettling are the reports of ghostly apparitions roaming the highway. Witnesses described seeing shadowy figures staggering along the shoulder, their forms emaciated and their faces obscured by tattered rags. Some believe these phantoms are the spirits of miners and settlers who perished during the region's tumultuous past, their restless souls unable to escape the land they once called home. Others claim to see the apparition of a woman in white, her features pale and gaunt, standing motionless in the middle of the road. Attempts to swerve around her prove futile, as she reappears directly in front of the vehicle moments later, her hollow eyes locking onto drivers before fading into the night. The haunting extends beyond visual phenomena. Auditory hallucinations abound along Sunset Highway. Travelers frequently report hearing disembodied voices whispering cryptic warnings or pleading for help, their origins impossible to pinpoint. One particularly chilling account comes from a trucker who claims to have heard the sound of children laughing inside his cab, their giggles growing louder and more manic as he neared Devil's Elbow. When he pulled over to investigate, he found nothing but an abandoned doll lying in the dirt, its glassy eyes staring blankly into the void. Similar stories describe the sensation of being followed, as though unseen eyes track every movement along the cursed curves. Voices from beyond the asphalt documented encounters on Oregon's haunted roads. The haunted roads of Oregon are not merely settings for folklore and legend. They are living theaters where the supernatural manifests in tangible ways. Across highways like Highway 26, Deadman's Pass, Wolf Creek Pass, and Sunset Highway, countless witnesses have stepped forward with first-hand accounts of encounters that defy rational explanation. These stories, often corroborated by multiple sources, lend credibility to the notion that these roads harbor energies and entities that transcend the mortal realm. Below, we delve into some of the most compelling documented cases, offering a glimpse into the chilling experiences of those who dared to venture into these spectral domains. On Highway 26, one of the most striking accounts comes from Sarah Thompson, a paranormal investigator who spent several nights cataloging EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, recordings along the infamous Oregon Vortex. On her second evening, she claims to have heard the unmistakable sound of a man sobbing in the distance. Following the noise, she found herself near Devil's Elbow, a curve notorious for fatal accidents. There, she saw the faint outline of a man hunched over in a ditch, his face obscured by his hands. When Sarah approached, the apparition vanished, leaving behind a lingering chill that persisted for hours. Equally unnerving was the testimony of Greg Hawthorne, a local truck driver, who witnessed a heavy semi-truck slam on its brakes repeatedly despite no visible cause. Dashcam footage later confirmed the event, capturing the vehicle skidding violently across lanes while the road remained otherwise empty. Deadman's Pass on Interstate 84 has produced its fair share of harrowing encounters. Emily Carter, another paranormal investigator, recounts her team's overnight expedition to the area. Using infrared cameras, they captured what appeared to be a woman in white walking alongside the guardrail. The figure paused mid-step, turned toward the camera, and then dissolved into thin air. What makes this account particularly credible is the corroboration from other team members, who simultaneously felt an intense drop in temperature and heard faint murmurs in the background. Similarly, Marcus Lee, a tour operator, describes an incident involving a couple who refused to continue their journey after claiming to see glowing red eyes staring at them from the shadows near the gorge's edge. Their refusal was so adamant that Marcus had to refund their tickets, an occurrence he had never experienced in his decade-long career. Wolf Creek Pass offers its own catalog of spine-chilling encounters. James O'Connor, a seasoned traveler, recalls a tour during which his flashlight began flickering wildly, forcing him to ascend prematurely. Upon surfacing, he noticed his dive partner signaling frantically, pointing to something below. Reviewing the footage later, they discovered a shadowy humanoid figure gliding effortlessly through the mist, its movements too fluid to belong to any known entity. Another visitor, Laura Mendez, shares a similarly unsettling tale. While exploring the caverns, she felt an inexplicable tug on her oxygen tank, causing her to lose balance momentarily. Her dive computer recorded erratic depth readings during this period, though neither she nor her partner made any significant changes in position. Both incidents align with local beliefs about the blue holes serving as a portal for vengeful spirits. Patterns of the paranormal, unveiling the common threads in Oregon's haunted roads. As we traverse the haunted landscapes of Oregon's most notorious roads, a fascinating tapestry of patterns begins to emerge, weaving together the disparate threads of supernatural occurrences across these highways. At first glance, the stories from Highway 26, Deadman's Pass, Wolf Creek Pass, and Sunset Highway may appear unique to their respective locales, shaped by individual histories and cultural nuances. Yet, upon closer inspection, commonalities arise that transcend geographical boundaries, revealing universal themes rooted in collective trauma, unresolved grief, and the enduring influence of historical injustices. One striking pattern is the prevalence of apparitions associated with marginalized groups, enslaved individuals, indigenous peoples, and victims of colonial brutality. From the spectral child at Great House Estate to the shadowy laborers haunting Dorjo Plantation, these ethereal figures serve as poignant reminders of lives cut short and voices silenced. Their persistent presence suggests a yearning for recognition, as if the spirits refuse to fade until their stories are acknowledged. This phenomenon reflects a broader psychological truth. Societies often suppress painful memories, yet those memories find expression through symbols and metaphors, manifesting as ghostly encounters that demand attention. Another recurring motif is the role of water as a conduit for supernatural energy. The blue holes, underwater anomalies, and the eerie whispers echoing through coastal ruins highlight the Caribbean's deep connection to the sea, a source of sustenance, trade, and migration, but also a repository of tragedy. Shipwrecks, drownings, and forced transatlantic voyages have imbued the region's waters with layers of sorrow and loss. This association resonates deeply within Caribbean folklore, where water is often depicted as a liminal space bridging the mortal world and the realm of spirits. Such symbolism underscores the idea that haunting is not merely an isolated event but a reflection of environmental memory, where the land and sea bear witness to humanity's darkest chapters. Furthermore, the architecture of these haunted sites plays a crucial role in amplifying their spectral atmosphere. Whether it's the decaying grandeur of colonial mansions or the labyrinthine caves of the Blue Hole, these structures act as physical embodiments of power dynamics and systemic oppression. The imposing facades of Rose Hall and Great House Estate, for instance, symbolize the wealth amassed through exploitation, while their shadowy interiors mirror the secrecy and cruelty concealed within. Similarly, A Journey Beyond the Shadows, your invitation to explore. As we draw the curtains on this chilling odyssey through Oregon's haunted roads, we extend a heartfelt invitation to you, dear reader, to embark on your own journey into the unknown. The stories we've shared are but a glimpse into the vast tapestry of spectral wonders that await discovery. From the cursed curves of Highway 26 to the eerie isolation of Dead Man's Pass, each road holds its secrets, waiting patiently for the curious and the brave to uncover them. But remember, the true essence of these haunted highways isn't confined to the pages of this article. It comes alive when you step behind the wheel and navigate their shadowy realms yourself. Your adventure doesn't have to end here. We urge you to delve deeper, to explore these haunted roads with an open mind and a willing spirit. Whether you're drawn to the spectral whispers of Wolf Creek Pass or the menacing echoes of Sunset Highway, each route offers a unique experience that transcends the ordinary. Drive them, feel their chilling embrace, and let their stories unfold before your very eyes. Capture your experiences, through words, images, or videos, and share them with the world. In doing so, you contribute to the ever-growing anthology of the supernatural, adding your voice to the chorus of those who have dared to peer beyond the veil. And don't stop there. Oregon is a treasure trove of haunted tales, many of which remain untold. Venture off the beaten path, seek out lesser-known legends, and immerse yourself in the rich folklore of the state. Engage with locals, listen to their stories, and uncover the hidden gems that lie just beneath the surface. Your discoveries could inspire others to embark on their own journeys, creating a ripple effect of curiosity and wonder. We also invite you to become part of our growing community of haunted enthusiasts. Subscribe to our channel, where we continue to unravel the mysteries of the supernatural world, one spine-tingling story at a time. Share your thoughts, insights, and personal encounters in the comments section below. Your contributions enrich the dialogue and connect us all in our shared fascination with the unknown. Together, let's keep the spirit of exploration alive, honoring the haunted roads of Oregon by keeping their stories vibrant and alive. So, take that first step. Let the whispers of the past guide you, and may your journey be as enlightening as it is thrilling. After all, the greatest adventures are those that challenge our perceptions and expand our horizons. The haunted roads of Oregon await. Will you answer their call?